There is an audience in the funeral home, people who never knew her. My fiancé is here for me. My kids are here because I couldn't find a babysitter. Nobody is here for her. Her own body isn't even here for her. I heard from Hugh that she died in a camp. He said he saw a lot of people die. All their faces stiffened into one expression in his memory, bitten. But not you, Ma, he said. Who he remembered, not for her napalm-soaked skin, but for the thrusting in her eyes as she died. By the end, all she owned was hope that it was enough, he assured me, no matter how false. I am called to the podium. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to
run from it. Tell me, Ma, why you shook me awake as soon as I had fallen asleep, just to say that we were going on a holiday. We'd been sleeping in a different house every night for the last week. Where are we really going? I asked. To tomorrow, you replied. It was still dark, and there were so many hours until tomorrow. I just wanted to melt back into the mattress. Tell me, Ma, why you hit me when I tried to disappear under my quilt. I was used to the way your palm would tense before it struck me, but that was the first time you hugged me after. And I hugged you. It has to be tonight, you whispered. They're catching on.
Sorry, let me begin again. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today
because tomorrow is outrunning us. I'm running with no shoes on, so fast that the people we pass are faceless, even under moonlight. In my palm, the weight of all I own, my bike, my books, my bed, my future, in one sweaty gold nugget, my lottery ticket to tomorrow. We are gathered, death be our witness.
To share the pain of her passing, to give thanks for her life and the experiences that we share, to mourn.
Saigon, last year, flying and falling, cheering and wailing. Tell me, Ma, where the grenade on that girl's belt dangled like a daisy keychain, where that boy's sleepy skin sank around his skull. You and I, papers in hands, were pushed towards the embassy gates. There were people falling beneath people. The bars of the gate were the width of a baby, but they kept pushing through, pushing to a white face that shook its head. A soldier's intestines spilled into a bowl strapped to his stomach. Tell me, Ma, why he kept marching forward if a piece of himself crumbled out with each step. I remember thinking, God, bear witness to this confetti of invalid documents and Kit Kat wrappers and ash and spit, all that flushes between my eyelashes. Bear witness, so that at least one of us can see.
The loss of a mother and a grandmother.
There is gravel shaking beneath my toenails now, rubble bending to the cuts on my feet, but we keep running. Foliage brushes my cheeks as death brushes others, so we keep running, until gravel turns to sand, until the departure for tomorrow lies ahead on a beach I once called childhood. But the waves don't chase me anymore. I'm chasing them. The man on the boat has one foot on the planks, another in the sand. His pocket is heavy with the weight of 50 life possessions. His legs are shaking like a promise as he picks up child after child. He grabs me, but I can make my own way on. I hear a bang, and another, and another. Something brushes my calf the way seaweed used to tickle me. It's the drooping threads of a man's sleeve. He floats next to me in shallow water, face down. You knew the police would be hiding by the tree line. Don't worry, they're just boys who are fighting to stop the fighting, you say. Boys crying to the rhythm of gunfire because they miss their mother's lullabies. Look ahead, you say. Keep going, you say, and don't stop. You say it's just like crossing the street, but there are no cars, no street barriers, no lights, no signs. People won't stop for you here. The beach is naked, dark. The boat tips between the horizon and sand like justice, blind. But I'm still ready to drift away to tomorrow. Someone's cut the rope and the boat jerks so suddenly that I'm knocked over.
Ma, sorry. Phương was a beautiful woman, as you can see in this photo. Yes, her hair was that thick even after she had me, and her eyes.
Wild with terror when I look back. In the moonlight, I see the memory of napalm burnt into your cheeks, your shoulders, your arms, your hand, holding mine from down there in the sand. Tell me, Ma, why you let go. Tell me, why are you helping them push this boat off land?
May Phương memory live on in our hearts. May we never forget her positivity, her sacrifices, her laughter.
Left me on the floor, clutching my stomach like it was already eating itself. To look ahead is to know that there is something to turn away from. You tell me to do it anyway. And by the light of the moon, I hear their boots, thrashing in the water, the jangling of metal, your weak laugh, fading.
Thank you.
My name is Annabella Luu. I am a Vietnamese-Australian writer living and working on Darug land. I have written and performed slam poetry across Sydney. Particular shout out to my literary homes, Bankstown Poetry Slam, Westside Poetry Slam, Bread and Butter, and the University of New South Wales. Shout out to the homes I'm yet to visit, Fairfield Poetry Slam, Alverse, Canberra. Thank you to the Story Factory for publishing this story in Platform 1. Thank you to Richard and Bilal for your feedback and guidance. Thank you to FBI Radio, especially Phoebe, for the safe space you provided to my mum and I in recording. I can talk about myself and my achievements, but I am a writer and creator by blood and nurture and legacy. As Ocean Vuong said, survival is a creative force. So I'm simply continuing the project of building this dream that my parents and grandparents started with when they got here. Empty hands, empty pockets. This story would not exist if it weren't for the care and guidance of my incredibly strong, incredibly intelligent, creative, caring, hardworking, beautiful mother, Tao Vivian Luu. She's handed me the baton and asked me to introduce her, so I'll say that she is an amazing cook, a prolific MC, and whether it's through the kitchen speaker, her zither, karaoke, or simply her humming, music seems to follow her everywhere. I wrote this story as a tribute and testament to my parents' boat journey to Australia from Vietnam. My mum was just 16 years old and made the journey, but without her parents. My dad was 9. I thank my mum for her vulnerability to revisit this experience, to share her memories and emotions so that we could preserve it in storytelling.